map of DRG as well. I think Elfie beat DRG that tournament.
He 2-0'd him.
Elfie tie at 2-0 DRG, but DRG would go on and win that tournament in the end. It was a good times. Either way, guys, our second series of the day is ready. Neeb versus Goswser. So let's just jump into the game.
Let's do it.
Apparently, I still have some eyeliner on my eyes. Someone just tweeted me this.
Yeah, I noticed that this morning too, and I didn't know if it was eyeliner, if your eyes were just dark because it was a late night last night.
But it wasn't a late night for me. I had a Krispy Kreme and I went to bed.
We got out of here at like midnight, bro.
Yeah, and since when is midnight a late night for me, man?
Well, yeah, but then we had to get up early this morning.
Roddy the Rockstar. Midnight is an easy night, man.
Okay, that's fair. It was a late night for me.
It was a late night at the office, sure, I'll give you that. I mean, arriving at the office at 10 a.m. and leaving at midnight, that's kind of long.
Well, I just thought you just looked a little tired. I wasn't sure if it was actually eyeliner.
The moment I go to bed at 12, I feel like an angel the next morning.
I guess now that I look closely, it is kind of like... Did she use the pencil on your eyes?
Yeah, but that stuff is like impossible to get off.
I can actually see it now.
I have so much respect for all these girls who spend so much time putting all this stuff on their face and then it's like twice as hard to put it off. This is hashtag dicey.
Dude, what is going through a girl's mind when she's like, I think I'll draw on my eyeball with this pencil.
Yes.
Like, you know?
And it's going to be like impossible to rub off my skin. And when you do it, it hurts. And don't try to rub it off with water because then it hurts even more.
Yeah.
I can guarantee
It's not like you can use alcohol in your eye to like get stuff off.
Yesterday my entire face was red when I tried to remove all the lipstick and all the stuff I had on my face. Anyways, let's talk about StarCraft. Over here on the right bottom side of the map, we have our North American Zerg Hope. Other than Scarlet, his name is Millennium's Goswser. And of course we have Suppy as well. Big shout out to Suppy. Conan is awesome. And we got a couple of other good Zergs around. Kane is kind of abandoning us as he recently got on a plane and went to Switzerland. As he will pretend that he's playing a lot of StarCraft, but most likely will just snowboard all winter long and hang out with snow bunnies.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's a great life, man. Switzerland is a beautiful country. Eat chocolate and hang around with girls in the mountains. What more could the man wish for?
That's about all there is to it, man. That's pretty much life.
That's pretty much life. Eat chocolate and hang out with snow bunnies.
Of course, Goswser's opponent up in the top left-hand corner of the map just beat State 2-0. This is Neeb.
A little too young to make the trip to Europe. Even though I'm sure if he would qualify for a major that we would find a way to get him there.
TM soon. Neeb gonna go with the Reaper opening here.
Reaper expand.
Pretty good build.
Into command center on the low ground. Why do you love Reaper expand so much, man?
Kev, it's so good because that Reaper, his sole purpose is to scout. And he's gonna scout, and he's gonna see stuff. But 9 times out of 10, he's gonna do a little bit more than that. He's gonna deal a little bonus damage.
What do you think he's gonna get done as bonus damage this game, Ben?
I think he's gonna kill a couple lings.
A couple or one?
I'm gonna go with a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he's gonna get a couple lings?
I predict a couple lings.
I think he's gonna get a ling. At best, if he's lucky. And he might force the drone into a sport. That's the bonus damage, man. There goes the ling. One ling. Up. Man.
You might get nothing.
Goswser is pretty good, man. This is what you get when you play a lot of Dota. You're able to keep your hero alive.
That micro.
And the hero in this case is this single ling. We are teasing Mike a little bit. He has not been playing all that much Dota, guys. But
he's actually been playing a lot of StarCraft.
yeah, the last 2 days.
Looking over his shoulder as he practiced and he was discussing his builds and
in Zerg chat.
Things like that.
Zerg chat seems to be a very legendary chat.
Yeah, good control again from Mike. I always screw this up when I try to click on that one drone. I'll click the wrong drone, and then I'll just like spam click, and everything will stop mining.
I have it with my probes. When one single Reaper, when I go Nexus first, and the Reaper arrives, and I have to micro my probes, I select like 7 probes, and then I want to like save the one, but instead I send 6 probes back, and the one probe that got fired actually runs into the Reaper. So like I backfire and make it easy on my opponents. For a very quick start point behind this for Neeb, as the reactor is down as well, so we're going to see a couple of Hellions make their way into their battlefield.
Little pseudo 1-1-1 opening. With an expand.
A little Polt action over here with that second Reaper. This is actually exactly Polt so far, isn't it?
Polt's a good player to copy. As the Reapers continue dancing in and out and trying to get some scouting done, but for the most part, Mike has done or Goswser's done a reasonable job of denying that. There's not a whole lot to see at this juncture. Roach Warren's gone down, and that might be something worth noting, but Actually, 3 Overlords at once.
I feel so far this is a mirror image of Polter's build. He's getting the single Viking as well, in which he's going to chase away Overlords with, and then he's going to get 6 Hellions and 2 Reapers. This is literally what Paul does every single game.
Reaper gets very low. Bam, bonus damage, 2 lings.
That's the Hellions, but doesn't count. Goswser starts producing roaches when he's at 42. There's 6 roaches so far, Ben. Do you think that he's running up behind this? 1 queen will fall. The second queen is probably going to fall as well. I really love the way that Neeb has been doing this, Ben. Just flawless control from our North American Terran player.
First roaches pop out for Goswser, and that is enough to scare Neeb away, but he did more damage than I think we expected to get out of him.
How clean was that control from Neeb so far? He didn't lose a single unit, didn't mess up, picked up the queen. Knows what he's playing against, made it harder for Goswser to go up to 3 bases. When that medevac arrives, okay, sorry, I thought this was the medevac. I was so convinced that was the medevac. These units are gonna have to be careful, by the way. He won't be able to force the cancel in his hatchery. He's gonna have to back off, and he does.
That's a very low health Hellion.
That medevac is just idling over here in the main base. That is something I'm a little bit confused by. This Viking is probably like, man, whenever I see Paul play that, he got so much traction. He gets all his
Overlord kills. There's a couple of Overlords that the Viking will soon spot. Goswser has positioned his Overlords pretty smart. Not so far out that they're free kills, but close, but far enough out that he can spot drops in time to react to them.
Here comes the queen. He wants to mess with the Viking. But 1 Overlord will fall.
Yep. Bye bye birdie.
Second Overlord does spot this medevac, I believe, so good spotting over there. Single Marauder and a bunch of Marines are going to try to make something happen in the main base. Ben, I'm getting a little happy. I'm getting happy inside when I watch Neeb play, and I feel that we're watching the rise of something special. I think it's very possible that if this guy keeps playing, and if he keeps dedicating himself to playing a lot of StarCraft, and keeps learning and keeps improving, that in 2014, somewhere in the summer months, that this guy is going to make some serious noise. So far, I really love what I see.
I completely agree. He's showing some excellent promise. Even dropping in the main base right now. We'll pick off a queen. I think that queen may still go down. For now, he's going to content himself to picking off a couple of drones, and maybe even more than a couple. At the same time, we see him active at the 3rd expansion.
I mean, Goswser is not reacting to this properly with that Marauder in the mix as well. I don't think these roaches are going to be enough to clean this up, and Goswser is taking a lot of damage in his main base.
Yeah, lost a queen, lost a grand total of 11 drones. And Neeb continues to excel.
A lot of additional roaches are on the way. I think he has 16 roaches now on the map, 5 additional roaches on the production tab. +1 is about to finish up as well. Interesting strat here by Goswser, and I really feel as soon as Neeb completely identifies what he's playing against, Ben, all he has to do is stay active with those drops and let the army supply grow. Don't fight when he's at like 120, 130, but fight when you have a 160, 170, 180 buyer supply, and then you should be able to murder this army of Goswser, because the longer Goswser waits, the less effective this roach army of him is going to become.
A couple of over-ambitious Marines run into some roaches there and cost them.
First mistake of the game. Loses 2 Hellions for nothing.
Goswser looks like he wants to play a bit of a Hyun style, big roach baneling, as 1-1's going to finish up for these roaches. Baneling speed's on the way, first ling production. Also Hydrogen going down. That's not quite Hyun, but still a very swarm style of Zerg here shaping up.
But he's not going to be able to bust Neeb though. Neeb seems pretty well prepared as a Widowmine as well. Stim finished up. First medevacs are entering or idling above those bio units as well. Drop is going to unload in the main base once more, but there are still a few roaches to take care of this. But still, I love what we're seeing of Neeb.
How many kills does that Viking have, man? He's been busy. Up to 3 kills. May find a couple more still drops, still being active for Neeb, but he's having more and more trouble finding openings. As Goswser has finally begun to establish a pretty respectable defense.
But he has never had that crazy amount of drones, man. This has not been a Zerg play that has that 4th hatchery already almost done or halfway done, and he's on 75, 80 drones. No, he's on 62 drones. Goswser is going to be able to like get a crazy amount of army supply in the near future, sure. But then also he's going to have to hope that he will absolutely crush Neeb in the first big fight that they're going for. Well, this one drop just stays active forever. Marauder doesn't give up.
Marauder's still doing work. Goswser, no signs of a 4th base yet. Kev, I like your point. Goswser will be able to make a big, scary Roach Hydra Baneling army.
But one time.
Will he be able to make a second one? Is kind of the question that we're left with.
And even if he is, like, is that second army ever going to be capable of fighting with 2/2 stimmed bio and a couple of siege tanks supporting in as well? I think this game is unfolding very nicely for Neeb.
Yep. Medevac shot down. Finally, this drop is dealt with. I like the fact that Neeb is making a couple of siege tanks. That's going to help a
I
little
think
bit.
it's so smart, because I think that he's realizing as well, man, as long as I survive, as long as I get to a critical mass within my army, that's why he's sending out these drops as well, even though this is a Viking. This might be another drop, just to force Goswser to keep a couple of units at home. Goswser is going to attack this third base, and this is going to be hella scary if you're a Terran Pharaoh or if you're Neeb. But, you know, what's going to happen after this? Neeb needs a little more time. A lot of banelings morphing in the middle of the map now as well. I think these two drops might be able to do quite a bit of damage now, Ben.
Yep.
There are no units left behind.
Everything is out on the map for Goswser, and that means that he is guaranteed to take some damage here. A single Roach and a single Hydra would be something that little group of units could fight. Another drop being unloaded in the back of the main base as well.
No units here at all for Goswser. Goswser is going to have to make it work here, but I feel Neeb is so well prepared to deal with this.
Banelings complicate things. Siege tanks are going to want to focus fire, and they're doing so very well. But man, the army of Goswser is very large, and it is continuing to press forward. 2 drops in the back of the Zerg base. Meanwhile, Neeb doing everything he can to stay alive at the front of his own natural.
He will be fine, Ben. He has plenty of Marines left. Tank is going to siege up as well. He picked off so many drones, 34 workers throughout the entire game. Yes, a couple of Roaches and Hydras will remain, but Goswser has so much trouble cleaning up these drops, and he's not breaking Neeb.
No, sir. Neeb has, for the most part, stabilized here. A few Roaches and Hydras are left over. And Neeb's just going to come right out and meet it. Siege tank, some Marine Marauder. Drops still alive in the back of Goswser's natural expansion. This is very tough for the North American Zerg.
New school Terran players representing Viking is going to land in the fun as well. These Hydras will be picked off one by one. He didn't even lose any workers in this phase. He lost a couple in the natural. A few additional Roaches are arriving. It's going to complicate things a little bit, but with these 2 tanks, or that third tank even, and those Stim Marines, he should be more than fine. And I think Neeb has done it. I think Neeb has stabilized. That's all he needs.
Looks like a good game gets called. Neeb takes game number 1 over Goswser and is...
And I felt Neeb played so good, man. From start to finish. He knew what he had to do, and he was doing it all. He was executing everything. He was